my dog is barking outside. November 14th. Today I asked Miss Manigat how many people have the virus J. Oh, Jay, I don't know, she said. I don't think she was too in the mood to talk about disease. Just guess, I said. Miss Manigat thought for a long time. Then she opened her notebook and began drawing lines and boxes for me to say. Her picture looked like the tiny brown lines all over an oak tree leaf. We had a tree called a live oak in our backyard, and my dad said it was more than 100 years old. He said trees sometimes live longer than people do, and he was right, because I'm sure that tree is still standing in our yard, even though my whole family is gone. Oh, that's sad. This is how it goes, Jay, Miss Manigat said, showing me with her pencil tip, one line branched down to the next. People are giving it to each other. They don't usually know they're sick for 2 weeks, and by then they've passed it to a lot of other people. By now, it's already been here for 4 years, so the same thing that happened to your family is happening to a lot of families. How many families? I asked again. I tried to think of the biggest number I could. 1 million? Miss Manigat shrugged, just like Dr. Ben would. Maybe that meant yes. I couldn't imagine 1 million families, so I asked Miss Manigat if it happened to her family too. If maybe she had a husband and kids and they got sick, but she said no, she was never married. I guess that's true because Miss Manigat doesn't look that old. She won't tell me her age, but she's in her 20s, I think. Miss Manigat smiled at me even though her eyes weren't happy. My parents were in Miami and they got it right away, Miss Manigat said. Then my sister and nieces came to visit them from Haiti and they got it too. I was away working when it happened and that's why I'm still here. Miss Manigat never told me that before. My family lived in Miami Beach. My dad said our house was too small. I had to share a room with my brother. But my mother liked where we lived because our building was 6 blocks from the ocean. My mother said the ocean can heal anything, but that can't be true, can it? My mother wouldn't like it where I am because there's no ocean and no windows either. There's no windows. Ooh. I wondered if Miss Manigat's parent knew someone who worked from an oil rig too, but probably not. Probably they got it from my dad and me. Oh, Miss Manigat, I said, maybe you should move inside like Dr. Ben and everyone else. Oh, Jay, Miss Manigat said, like she was trying to sound cheerful. Little old man, if I were that scared of anything, why would I be in here teaching you? She said she asked to be my teacher, which I didn't know. I said I thought her boss was making her do it, and she said she didn't have a boss. No one sent her. She wanted to come. Just to meet me? I asked her. Yes, because I saw your face in television, and you looked to me like one of a kind, she said. She said she was a nurse before, and she used to work with Dr. Ben in his office in Atlanta. She said they used to work at the CDC. CDC, Chronic Disease Containment. Ha! Which is a place that studies diseases. I didn't even keep reading, I just guessed that. And he knew her, so that was why he let her come teach me. A boy like you needs his education. He needs to know how to face life outside. Is he ever going to get outside? Miss Manigat is funny like that. Sometimes she'll quit the regular lesson about presidents and the 10 Commandments and teach me something like how to sew and how to tell plants you eat from plants you don't and stuff. Like, I remember when she brought a basket with real fruits and vegetables in it, fresh. She said she had a garden where she lives on the outside, close to here. She said one of the reasons that she won't move inside is because she loves her garden so much, and she doesn't want to leave it. The stuff she brought was not very interesting to look at. She showed me some cassava, which looked like a long, twisty tree branch to me, and she said it's good to eat, except it has poison in it that has to be boiled out of the root first, and the leaves are poisonous too. She also brought something called a key, which she said she used to eat from trees in Haiti. It has another name in Haiti that's too hard for me to spell. It tastes fine to me, but when she said the ackee can never be eaten or opened, or before it's ripe, because it makes your brain swell up and you can die. Ooh. She also brought different kinds of mushrooms to show me which ones are good or bad, but they all looked alike for me. She promised to bring me another fruits and vegetables to see, so I will know what's good for me and what isn't. There's a lot to learn about the life outside, she said. Well, I don't want Miss Manigat to feel like I'm a waste of her time, but I know for a fact that I don't have to face life outside. Dr. Ben told me I might be a teenager before I can leave, or even older, he said. I might even be a grown man. But that's okay, I guess. I try not to think about what it would be like to leave. My room, which they moved me to when I had been here for 6 months, is really, really big. They built it especially for me. It's 4 times as big as the hotel room my mom and dad got for us when we went for Universal Studios in Orlando when I was 5. Aww. I remember that room because my brother Kevin kept asking my dad, "Doesn't this cost too much?" Every time my dad brought us a t-shirt or anything, Kevin brought up how much it cost. That's me. I told Kevin to stop it because I was afraid Dad would get mad and stop buying us stuff. Ha! Then when we were in line for the King Kong ride all by ourselves, Kevin told me, "Dad got fired from his job, stupid. Do you want me to go on welfare?" I waited for Mom and Dad to tell me he got fired, but they didn't. After Kevin said that, I didn't ask them to buy me anything else, and I was scared to stay in that huge, pretty hotel room because I thought we wouldn't have enough money to pay. Aw, but we did, and then Dad got a job on the oil rig, and we thought everything would be better. My room is as big as half the whole floor, I bet. When I run from one side of my room to the other, from the glass in the wall and back, I'm out of breath. I like to do that. Sometimes I run until my ribs start squeezing and my stomach hurts like it's cut open and I have to sit down and rest. There's a basketball net in here too, and the ball doesn't ever touch the ceiling except if I throw it too high on purpose. I also have comic books, and I draw pictures of me and my family, and Miss Manigat and Dr. Ben. Because I can't watch videos, now I spend a lot of time writing in this notebook. A whole hour went by already. When I am writing down my thoughts, I forget about everything else. I've decided for sure to be a doctor someday. I'm going to help make people better. Aww. November 29th. Thanksgiving was great. Miss Manigat cooked real bread and brought me food she'd heated up. Wait, real bread? Was eating fake bread before? I could tell everything except the bread and cassava was from a can. Like always, but it tasted much better than my regular food. I haven't had bread in a long time. Because of her mask, Miss Manigat ate the dinner before she came, but she sat and watched me eat. Renee came in too, and she surprised me when she gave me a hug. She never does that. Dr. Ben came in for a little while at the end, and he hugged me too, but he said he couldn't stay because he was busy. Dr. Ben doesn't come visit me much anymore. I could see he was growing a beard, and it was almost all white. I've seen Dr. Ben's hair when he's outside of the glass, when he isn't wearing his hot suit, and his hair is brown, not white. I asked him how come his beard was white, and he said that happens when your mind is overly tired. I liked having everybody come to my room. Before, in the beginning, almost nobody came in, not even Miss Manigat. She used to sit in a chair outside the glass and use the intercom for my lessons. It's better when they came in. I remember how Thanksgiving used to be, with my family around in the table dining room. And I told Mrs. Manigat about that. Yes, she said, even though she didn't celebrate Thanksgiving in Haiti like Americans do, she remembers sitting at the table with her parents and her sister for Christmas dinner. She said she came to see me today, and Renee and Dr. Ben came too, because of each other's family now. So we are not alone. I hadn't thought of that like before. December 1st. No one will tell me, not even Miss M, but I think maybe Dr. Ben is sick. I haven't seen him for 5 whole days. It's quiet here. I wish it was Thanksgiving again. Oh no! Is Dr. Ben sick? January 23rd. I didn't know this before, but you have to be in the right mood to write your things down. A lot happened in the days I missed. The doctor with the French name is gone now, and I'm glad. He wasn't like Dr. Ben at all. I could hardly believe he was a real doctor because he always had on the dirtiest clothes when I saw him take off his hot suit outside of the glass. And he was never nice to me. He wouldn't answer at all when I asked him questions, and he wouldn't look me in the eyes except for a second. One time he slapped me on my ear, almost for nothing, and his glove hurt so much my ear turned red and sore for a whole day. He didn't say he was sorry, but I didn't cry. I think he wanted me to. Aww. Oh yeah, and he hooked me up to IV bags and took so much blood from me I couldn't even stand up. I was scared he would operate on me. Miss Manigat didn't come in for almost a week, and when she finally came, I told her about the doctor taking too much blood. She got really mad. Then I found out the reason she didn't come all those days. He wouldn't let her. She said he tried to bar her from coming. Bar is the word she used, which sounds like a prison. The new doctor and Miss Manigat do not get along, even though they both speak French. Oh, that's cool. I saw them outside of the glass, yelling back and forth, moving their hands, but I couldn't hear what they were saying. I was afraid he would send Miss Manigat away for good, but yesterday she told me she's leaving. I told her I was happy because I was afraid he would take Dr. Ben's place. No, she told me, there isn't anyone taking Dr. Ben's place. She said the doctor came here to study me in person because he was one of the doctors Dr. Ben had been sending my blood to ever since I first came. But he was already very sick when he got here, and he started feeling worse, so he had to go. Seeing me was his last wish, Miss Manigat said, which didn't seem like it could be true, because he didn't act like he wanted to be with me. That's what I thought too. I asked her if he went back to France with his family, and Miss Manigat said no. He probably didn't have a family. And even if he did, it's too hard to go to France. The ocean's in the way, she said. That is true. Miss Manigat seemed tired from all that talking. So am I. She said she'd decide to move inside, like Renee, to make sure they were taking care of me properly. She said she misses her garden. The whole place has been falling apart, she said. I do a good job of keeping my room clean, and I do, because I have my own mop and bucket and Lysol in my closet. Ha! Lysol! But she told me the hallways are filthy, which is true because sometimes I can see the water dripping down from the wall outside of my class. A lot of it, and it makes puddles all over the floor. You can tell the water is dirty because you can see different colors floating on top, the way my family's driveway used to look after my dad sprayed it with a hose. He said the oil from the car made the water look that way. I remember when our car did that too. But I don't know why it looks that way here. Miss Manigat said the water smells bad too. Ew. It's ridiculous. If they're gonna keep you here, they better take care of you, Miss Manigat said. She must have been really mad. I told her about the time that Lou came by and pressed my intercom really late at night, when I was asleep and nobody else was around. He was talking really loud like people do in videos. Lou was glaring at me through the glass, banging on it. I had never seen him look so mean. I thought he would try and come into my room, but then I remembered he couldn't because he didn't have a hot suit. But I'll never forget how he said, "They should put you to sleep like a dog in the pound." Uh-oh. I try not to think about that night because it gave me nightmares. It happened when I was pretty little, like 8. Sometimes I think maybe I just dreamed it, because the next time Lou came, he acted just like normal. He even smiled at me a little bit before he stopped coming here. Lou was very nice to me every day after that. Miss Manigat did not sound surprised when I told her what Lou said about putting me to sleep. "Yes, Jay," she said. "For a long time there have been people outside who didn't think we should be taking care of you. I never knew that before. I remember a long time ago when I was really sad. Well, I was really little and I had pneumonia. My mom was scared to leave me alone at the hospital. 'They won't know how to take care of Jay there,' she said to my dad, even though she didn't know I heard her. I had to stay by myself all night, because of what my mom said, I couldn't go to sleep. I was afraid if everyone at the hospital would forget I was there, or maybe something bad would happen to me. It seems like the lights go off every other day now. And I know people must really miss Lou because the dirty gray water is all over the floor outside the glass, and there's no one here to clean it up." February 15, 646-72943. 646-72943. I remember the numbers already. I've been saying them over and over in my head so I won't forget. But I wanted to write them down in the exact right order to be extra sure. I want to know them without even looking. Oh, I should start at the beginning. Yesterday, no one brought me any dinner. Not even Miss Manigat. Oh. She came with a huge bowl of oatmeal this morning, saying she was very sorry. She said she had to look a long time to find that food, and it wore her out. The oatmeal wasn't even hot, but I didn't say anything. I just ate. She watched me eating. She didn't stay with me long because she doesn't teach me lessons anymore. After the French doctor left, we talked about the Emancipation Proclamation and Martin Luther King, but she didn't bring that up today. She just kept sighing, and she said she had been in bed all day yesterday because she was so tired. She was sorry she forgot to feed me. She said I couldn't count on Renee to bring me food because she didn't know where Renee was. It was hard for me to hear her through her hot suit today. Her mask was crooked, so the microphone wasn't in front of her mouth where it was supposed to be. She saw my notebook and asked if she could look at it. I said sure. She looked at the pages from the beginning. She said she liked the part where I said she was my best friend. Her face mask was fogging up, so I couldn't see her eyes and couldn't tell if she was smiling. I am very sure she did not put her suit on right today. When she put my notebook down, she told me to pay close attention to her and repeat the numbers she told me, which were 646-72943. I asked her what they were. She said it was the security code for my door. She said she wanted to give me the code because my buzzer wasn't working, and I might need to leave my room if she overslept, and no one came to bring me food. She told me I could use the same code on the elevator, and the kitchen was on the 3rd floor. There wouldn't be anybody there, she said, but I could look on the shelves. The top one's up high. Okay, right now I'm thinking everyone's dying, maybe. Maybe he might be the only one left, but I don't know. But I could look on the shelves, the top ones up high, to see if there was any food. If not, she said, I should take the stairs down the first floor and find the red exit sign to go outside. She said the elevator doesn't go on the first floor anymore. I felt scared then, but she put her hand on the top of my head, just like usual. She said she was sure there were plenty of food outside. But am I allowed? I asked. What if people get sick? You worry so much, little man, she said. Only you matter now, my one of a kind. But see, I'm sure Mrs. Manigat doesn't really want me to go outside. I've been thinking about that over and over again. Miss Manigat must have been very tired to tell me something like that. Maybe she has a fever, and that's why she told me to get out of my room. My brother said silly things when he had a fever. And my father, too. My father kept calling me Oscar, and I didn't know who Oscar was. My dad told me he used to have a brother who died when he was little. Maybe his name was Oscar. My mother didn't say anything at all when she got sick. She just died very fast. I wish I could find Miss Manigat and give her something to drink. You get very thirsty when you have a fever, which I know for a fact. But I can't go to her because I don't know where she is. And besides, I don't know where Dr. Ben keeps his hot suits. What if I went to her and she wasn't wearing hers? My brother just screamed from the hallway and I almost had a heart attack. Maybe the oatmeal was the only thing left in the kitchen, and now I ate it all. I hope not, but I'm thinking maybe it is because I know Mrs. Manigat would have brought me more food if she could have found it. She's always asking me if I have enough to eat. I'm already hungry again. 646-72943. February 15th. I'm writing in the dark. The lights are off. I tried to open my lock, but the numbers won't work because the light's being off. I don't know where Miss Manigat is. I'm trying not to cry. What if the lights never come back on? February 16th. There's so much to say, but I have a headache from being hungry. When the lights came back on, I went out to the hall like Miss M told me, and I used the numbers to get the elevator work, and then I went into the kitchen like she said. I wanted to go real fast and find some peanut butter, or some Oreos, or even a can of beans. I could open them with the can opener Miss M left me in Thanksgiving. There's no food in the kitchen. There's empty cans and wrappers on the floor, and even roaches, but looked on every single shelf. In every cabinet, I couldn't find anything to eat. Now, what I'm remembering from scary stories or like apocalypses and stuff, people always raid stuff and leave the trash on the floor. Okay. The sun was shining really bright from the window. I almost forgot how the sun looks. When I went to the window, I saw a big empty parking lot outside. At first, I thought there were diamonds all over the ground because of the sparkles, but it was just a lot of broken glass. I could only see one car, and I thought it was Miss M's, but Miss M would never leave her car looking like that. For one thing, it had 2 flat tires. Anyway, I don't think there's anybody here today, so I thought of a plan. I have to go now. Miss M, this is for you, or whoever comes looking for me. I know somebody will find this notebook if I leave it on my bed. I'm very sorry I had to leave in such a hurry. I didn't want to go outside, but isn't it okay if it's an emergency? I am really, really hungry. I'll just find some food and bring it with me and come right back. I'm leaving the door open so I won't get locked out. Miss M, maybe you'll find your garden with cassavas and a key like you show me, and I'll know the good parts from the bad parts. If someone sees me and I get in trouble, I'll just say I didn't have anything to eat. Whoever is reading this, don't worry. I'll tell everybody I see. Please don't get close to me. I know Dr. Ben was very worried I made somebody sick. That's the end of the story. All right. I have to say, I can't see anything. That's what I had to say. Woo! There's slightly more light. I have to say, that was kind of eerie. What I feel for the most part, it wasn't much scary, more as like eerie and suspenseful. I'm pretty sure he ended up killing everyone with his disease. Oh, that's kind of scary. Well, anyways, that's it for the first scary story videos. I'm gonna try sleeping now without imagining a tiny kid walking into my bedroom. Alright, that's it for today. Bye!